Ever since I blew, they all on my. Hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got choked, long. That I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit. Ex-slick, then hit with the. Back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things, pull out the VIP. Suck, turn up, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. On first down, Wentz. For the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Dancing to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here we go. 180!
Strong right. 3 down.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Anthony Barr in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. That's taken in by Henderson. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. A first down throw for Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. They'll find Henderson there. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. To the air again, it's Cousins. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Henderson. 3 catches last week. He's got 3 in the first quarter here tonight. Okay.
I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you've got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing, so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Sunday.
Watch the screen.
Throwing is Wentz. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Hey, we're good.
Following the interception, Cousins, pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Derek Barnett in there for the sack on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Can't. Hey, no, easy.
Here's Cousins. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
Spot! No! 300! Gun! No! Hey, flipper! Hey, yo!
Smooth! 54's Mike. Check. Watch. Wait, that.
3rd and long for Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And Bryant's kick is no good. He pushed it wide right off the mark, and this score will stay right where it is.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. Going for the deep ball. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Right there on the coverage to knock that ball away was Mike Hughes. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. It's a second down run with Sanders. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
Here we go. Louie!
Hey, Tank. I got it.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Son. Yellow.
Back near the goal line, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. The 40, 20, 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 95 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Wentz now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ben Gideon coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Wentz now to throw. Man open, it's Goodwin. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
Mike's 4-2. Check the outs. Check the outs.
Hey, orbit.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
It's going to be a long day.
Let's find 7.
Mike 42. Mike 42.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
Hey, Mike's 42. Mike's 42. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Mike's 42. Mike's 42. Watch the run.
From the gun on third down, Wentz. He's going to go for a big. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. To give him a gain of 38.
First down. First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 35-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let him know. Let him know. Watch the twitch.
Sunday.
Check 9. Check the backer. Check the backer.
To throw is Wentz. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 16.
Eagles first down. First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Shit.
Hey, stand.
Shit.
Wentz on the give to Sanders. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
14, 82, 14.
Throwing now is Wentz. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. The kick by Elliott is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right?
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Cousins gives way to Cook. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks open.
And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. First down, here's Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Bryant's extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Philly. And even 50 yards. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big, big game.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Sunday.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wentz. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night. And whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
Gun.
He's coming to you. He's coming to you.
Throwing, Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And all the way down to the 39. So with the pass being completed, they'll go ahead and take that instead.
Nothing extra to be gained. Pass interference at the spot, completed the pass. That was your play, so it might as well have not even had the penalty.
You got tight. You got tight right now. Rhino! Hey, watch it, watch it.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll take this one down to the 36. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
A 3-yard brings up 2nd and 7 at the 36-yard line.
Motion. Hey, check motion, man.
From the 36, Cousins. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
54. Mike, 54. Ready? Right there. 54.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 12-yard line.
24-yard gain on the play. And the Vikings 1st down.
Jahan, 180.
54. Mike, 54.
First.
After you. I'm coming after you. 54 is Mike. 54.
Go ahead.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
What's that?
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. From a yard out, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Now, the PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a carry for Sanders. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. Now let's see. Yeah, the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down.
Hey, seam 6.
Mike 57. Hey, pick your game up.
They do go for it. It's Wentz. Goodwin able to haul it in. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11.
Let's go.
Ty, Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. From the 38, Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 37. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. We are headed to the 4th here on Thanksgiving night. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the counter now, it's Sanders. And, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Solid.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10.
He's checked. 61. Matchbox light.
Watch the edge. 6 guy. Check 6 guy.
They'll go again with Sanders. Oh, he's got a little daylight. A big run there, 29 yards in the first.
Every player I know tends to play the game in his mind before it actually happens. There's no way he thought that at this stage of the game, this would be his first big run like that.
Yeah, but it's got to feel for him like the floodgates open, a sigh of relief. Now we'll see if things can open up for him.
See if it can continue.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
I'm coming after you.
To throw, it's Wentz. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Boston Scott, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. Elliott good with a PAT. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. 4 receivers now in the formation. 3 to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 7.
Gun.
Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Cousins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Gun. Leave it. Bring up 48.
2nd and 5 now. Cousins. Escaping the pressure. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Hey, watch that, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Here we go.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
On 3rd down, Cousins. This is caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. This will be caught at about the 6. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone.
Watch the safety creep.
General West.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Switch, switch.
That's taken in by Henderson. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. From back at the 3 now. This is 3rd and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. They'll run for it. Cook. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his 2nd touchdown there. And look at this. They come right back with a big shot downfield. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Marquise Goodwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles get a score closer. Now Wentz going to lead the Eagles up to go for 2. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here. 1st and 10. Flushed out right. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pick up there of 20 yards. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Cousins here to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will push the lead up from 26, and it grows up to 29. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Check curls, check curls, check curls. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
Throwing is Wentz. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Marquise Goodwin with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. Elliott good on the extra point. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was... And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, 47 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Let's go right here now. Right there, 54. Right. Hey, zoom. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Now Wentz. He's going to let it fly. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Wentz going to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Incomplete. Harrison Smith on the coverage.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Give me that ball, defense. Hey, Mike's 7. Give me that ball, defense. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Wentz going to go on 4th down. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. A little insult to injury here late in the game. This from 42 yards out. And his kick is indeed good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Minnesota, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you want to give, how much blood, what you bleed.